All right, mashallah, another beautiful fashion show presentation. And it does take a lot of courage and a lot of enthusiasm to be able to get up here and walk the catwalk, as we'll soon find out in a little bit. Now, in between these fun fashion show segments, we are trying to incorporate these inspirational talks so that we can really get a better picture of what it really means to be a Muslim woman. As much as today we're here to celebrate the beauty of modesty, and we are looking at the external, maybe, view of what it looks like to wear that modesty externally. One of the most important elements of being a strong Muslim woman is having that beauty on the inside as well. And that's why we don't want to lose sight of what it means to live our lives modestly, to live our lives as Muslim women. So please welcome now with me our next inspirational speaker, Sara Zayed, who is a third-year student. I love the enthusiasm. Clap at any moment, guys. Anytime you feel like clapping, just clap, okay? All right. Sara's a third-year student studying computer science and math at Rutgers University. She writes for MuslimGirl.net and is the president of the chapter of MuslimGirl.net at Rutgers. She's a two-time New Jersey half marathon runner. Woo, that deserves like a round of applause. She is also a columnist for the Daily Targum, and she aspires to break barriers for women in academia, fitness, and activism. So I'm very happy to welcome to the stage Sara Zayed. Thank you so much, Sara, for joining us. Please have a seat. Just don't fall backwards.
I'll try
There's
not
no one
to.
there to catch you. All right, so Sara, you're going to talk to us a little bit about hijab as a stepping stone.
Exactly. And I just want to say thank you for having me. It's wonderful to be here. I love seeing so many Muslim women get together and have fun. It's really exciting for me just being in the audience and also being here addressing you guys. So I wanted to talk about how often we consider hijab a challenge. And it's not just being in a society that so often rejects it, but also being exposed to images in social media that accessorize the hijab and make it an accessory and make us feel like we have to fit a certain mold in order to be acceptable. And this comes in a long laundry list of negative consequences we face as being covered Muslim women, such as being dehumanized or being reduced to someone who wears the hijab not as an individual with a unique personality and unique characteristics. And I feel like often we turn a blind eye to how we can utilize our Muslim identity and our hijab as a tool of power. So I wanted to start out with a statistic, just because it surprised me so much when I first read it. In a 2009 Gallup poll, it was revealed that Muslim American women are among the most educated women. Let that sink in. Muslim American women are among the most educated women. And it just goes to show how much I've internalized those negative messages about Islam and hijab holding you back. Because in my own personal circle, all the women are either pursuing a degree or have gotten a degree, but I disregarded those personal experiences because everyone else is telling you that Islam holds you back. But the statistic shows us that that's not true. And it makes me think to my university experiences. From my time freshman year till now, I've noticed a huge increase in hijab on campus. And this is great because it normalizes the hijab. And what better way to do it than at a university where you're encouraged to learn all day long and you perceive the world in a new way and you have new experiences all the time. And when I first started out as a freshman, I was like, okay, great, I can't skip class because I look so different and the professor's gonna notice when I'm not there. But later on, I realized, I was like, wait, they remember my name easier, and it takes less effort for my participation to be considered recognizable purely because this physical marker marks me as different. And of course, it marks me for racism and discrimination in other situations, but you can yield it and you can wield it as a tool of power. So as Susie mentioned, I have run the New Jersey annual half marathon. It's a 13-mile event, and it's a hugely rewarding experience. I totally encourage you guys to do it. Don't hate me for saying that. But it's a great experience, and recently I was talking to my aunt about it, And she was telling me, and I should have recognized this before she told it to me, but she was telling me, well, what you just did is dawah. And I've been thinking about it since then. It should have been clear to me before, but I was remembering back to the race, and there were thousands and thousands of people running, but the number of recognizably Muslim women were sparse, if not completely absent. And I want to give some background about the event. Running 13 miles in any type of weather is no joke. So obviously it's a lot easier to wear less clothes because your body heats up slower and it makes it easier to run. So when people see a Muslim woman covered from head to toe, it sends a powerful message. What could be powerful enough to make someone run 13 miles covered from head to toe? Muslim women can do anything. Repeat after me. Muslim women can do anything. And while we're on the topic of sports, you guys might have seen her picture on social media, but there's a hijabi figure skater named Zahra Lari, and she just participated in the past Winter Olympics. And if there's any sport that I thought could not be customized for modesty, it was figure skating. But she did it. We've broken into that arena. The possibilities are endless. And this just goes to show that you can do whatever you set your mind to, and being a Muslim and being a hijabi and being a covered Muslim woman will not hold you back from that. And it's not just because you can succeed as an individual, but because we have a built-in network of sisters. Look around you. This is great. So when I was younger, like elementary school young, I used to think that my family was the only Muslim family in New Jersey, literally, because there was no Muslims anywhere and I didn't recognize anyone. But it sounds like a joke, right? Like you're laughing at it. But nowadays, it's because Muslims have become so much more visible, particularly Muslim women in business and technology and science and politics and liberal arts. So when I come to an event like this, where Muslims are networking, it gets me excited. We're familiar with our friends from the masjid, but we recognize one another on site because of the hijab. How many times have you passed by another woman, and just because she's wearing a hijab, you say salamu alaikum and you get to know each other? That's huge. You already have a connection. It's not just empowering for the individuals participating to come to an event like this, but for all of us. It's not